And good evening and welcome to the Division 1 GameFace footy show for the MPNFL. Plenty to talk about. Great to have footy back, and it's all thanks to Frankston RSL, HP and CP Electrical Australia, and Jeff Wignall Ford. And they have franchises in Hastings, in Frankston, and also Mornington and Telstra. Part of our coverage as well with our most valuable team, which we'll tell you about very, very shortly. Wayne Cap, welcome back to footy. Good to have you back.
Thanks, Dan. What a great weekend it was. It was awesome to have footy back and big crowds, lots of beer sales, as we were just talking about, and a few surprise results.
Chris Holcomb, welcome to you. Stinking hot, wasn't it, Holks?
It was. It was good beer drinking weather. I got a couple of games in over the weekend, but just rapt to be back. And everyone that was in the crowd, you could see in their faces and the way that they were going, it was fantastic. Loved it.
Well, I think it was the fellowship too, wasn't it? It wasn't just watching the footy, but it was the fellowship, getting to speak to people you mightn't get a chance to see or haven't had a chance to see over the past 18 months. I think, Cappy, that was one of the advantages of it.
Oh, for sure. There'd be people who have their life had been, going to the footy on a Saturday and had been taken away from them for 2 years, and all of a sudden you're seeing faces that you haven't seen for a long time, catching up, and that's all part of it. And it's a great community, the local footy community, and everyone got together on the weekend and had a great time.
What a massive weekend, a hot weekend it's been in footy. Bomb Beach Ruck Tom Hogan about to join us this week from Bomb Beach after leading the division in hitouts this week in their demolition of rivals Eddie Ass by 111 points. Red Hill win on the siren in the battle of the premiers against Dramana. Rosebud cause a massive upset in the GameFace match of the day against Sorrento. And as we said, the much-anticipated Telstra most valuable team for Division 1, and we preview the remaining two games for round one as well. But let's get to our first guest, and he was magnificent, wasn't he, Tom Hogan, for the Bomb Beach Football Club on the weekend in a huge win by 111 points, 24-13, 157 to Edith Val Aspendale, 7-4-46. Tom, welcome to GameFace. Good to have you with us.
Hey boys, thanks for having me. It was pretty good game on the weekend. So, thanks for having me on the show.
Pleasure. Now, tell us about the conditions. Have you played in conditions like that before, Tom?
I remember playing EDS, I think 2 years ago. It was a pretty hot game on Good Friday again at Bomb Beach, and it was pretty similar conditions. I was, pretty cooked that game as well. So, it was real crazy conditions, but just happy we got the win,
How do you get through conditions like that?
A lot of rotations, just comes down to how the players are feeling. We're just communicating to the runners, hydrating the night before, 2 nights before, and just, eating right. And, hopefully that's all goes well.
When we used to hydrate the night before, or the couple of nights before, it meant a different thing, I think.
Saints disco.
It's a little bit different.
So how much water would have you had the night before knowing it was going to be really hot?
I was hydrating, probably early the yesterday morning, just, probably 4 or 5 bottles. And then woke up, was just chugging down again. And, I was feeling just sick of just drinking water in the end, but, it's worth it in the end,
It tests your pre-season, doesn't it? Because you get out there and you do a pre-season and think, I've had a smack at it and we've run around the track and we've done ourselves. But once you get in competition and you're going a flat stick and then getting a rest or getting tackled and getting up, completely different fitness. And it comes down to a lot of mental toughness to get through the day, doesn't it, mate?
Yeah, no, exactly. It's completely different training, but, just happy to get back out there. It feels like we've done 2 pre-seasons now, just that one game. But, just happy to be back playing footy.
So, Tom, with DJ gone, this is your first year now. You're the number one man in the ruck. How are you coping with that? Obviously, you one game, it's a big tick. Are you finding it different now that, everyone will be looking at you to carry the load?
Yeah, no, it is. It's a big change, but, DJ took me under his wing, probably four years ago now. Taught me a lot about, the ruck and just the craft. But, the Connells, the coaches backed me in. He told me at the start of the pre-season I was going to be the main man. And, I've got Jack O'Casey and Shane McDonald. They've just really just installed that it's going to be my year and just really backing me in, play the number one ruck role. And, it is big changes, even big changes, playing the amount of minutes on the ground. I was used to just sharing the ruck 50-50 or 40-60, but now, just getting the minutes in my legs and adapting to just the big bodies for longer has been a learning experience. But yeah, it's just, as you said, just one game. So I need to just keep working on my craft and hopefully getting better as the year goes by.
It's a magnificent midfield, isn't it, that you've got the opportunity to ruck to. It's probably the deepest midfield in the competition. How confident is the team it can go a fair way this year?
Yeah, no, we do have a bit of big belief this year. But, Connell said we've got the list, but it means nothing if we can't connect as a group and, really gel. So we're just preparing to be great teammates and just knowing how each other works. And it's exciting for the year to come, but we've got a long way to go, and
And in regard to Trent Dennis-Lane kicking 7 goals, he obviously got some good looks at it throughout the day. So important to your side, but you've still got some other forwards to come back in. Sam Gilbert, Fisher's another one that could come back into the team as well. So as we said, there's plenty of depth in this side, isn't there?
Yeah, no, those two players are going to be massive for us this year, and we do have a big depth. This is the first time I've seen our twos side with so many numbers at training, and Gilbert and Fish, they're going to be massive for us when they come back in, just those big bodies. But yeah, it's just really exciting at the moment.
So, mate, with your ruck division, I'm interested, you'll be taking the majority of it. What's the depth like in your ruck division? What happens when you're having a spell? How does it work there without obviously giving too much?
I think Gilbert's going to be coming in as well in the ruck. We were having Owen Hewlett as well help out in the ruck, but he did his calf pretty badly, so he's out for 6 or 8 weeks. But at the moment we're just going to roll with me and Gilbert, and Joey Fish can take the ruck as well. He's a beast up forward. So we have a few players who can roll through there, but it should be exciting. Yeah.
Tell us about the influence of David Armitage.
Yeah, so he's been massive. Just his knowledge of the game has been huge. Teaching all us young fellas just what to do on the field and at training. His communication, his voice has just been amazing for us, and it's just another knowledgeable player at the club that can just help all of us just grow as a footy team. What we need to do right, when to take some ambitious kicks, when to settle it down, and just when to reload as a club. So yeah, he's been massive for us on and off the field.
Now, Tom, as part of our footy show every week, we're going to have our most valuable team, thanks to Telstra. Let's have a look at the most valuable team and see whether Tom Hogan, after a big day, including his 30 hit-outs, thanks to Premier Data, which are a very important part of what GameFace does this year, major partnership, Cappy, so we look forward to that. And I know you're like a kid in a candy store getting a chance to look at those stats today. You came in that was smiling like a Cheshire cat, Wayne Cat.
I'm actually spewing, Dan, because I wish it was around when I was coaching. And
really? You love them?
Yeah. What I could see today in an hour of looking at, researching a couple of games, it would take you, 5 hours to get that type of information. And some of it you wouldn't even get. So the stats on every player, you can click on them and you get the highlights, and it's an amazing tool for all coaches. And I, as I said, I just wish that it was around when I was coaching. It would have been fantastic.
Well, let's have a look at the team. And Hulks and Cappy and Tom, would love your views on this. The back line, Jari Kennedy, I thought was outstanding in the last line of defence for Rosebud on the weekend. Jack McRae at fullback played very well as well, just played that defensive role of knocking the footy away whenever he could. Jonas Siverson in the back pocket had a superb day, 24 possessions. The half-back line, Billy Quigley of Dramana. Jacob Steinhardt was Sorrento's best player by a fair way, and Blaine Coates, the first Bomb Beach player on the half-back line. The midfielders, Dean Moore of Dramana, Danny Alsop of Red Hill. The wingers in the ruck, Billy Gertz had a good day. Sam Gertz of Dramana. Jackson Casey of Bond Beach, Nick Batsanis in his first game for Rosebud, and the forward line, pretty good forward line, Shane McDonald, Bond Beach, Angus Patterson, Red Hill, Sean Downey of Rosebud, Jack Sullivan had a great day at forward for the Bond Beach team, as did Trent Dennis-Lane kicking 7, and Sam Fowler for Dramana. The interchange, Tom Hogan, there you are, Tom, from Bond Beach, Fletcher Huswaite from Rosebud, Andy Mathers from Red Hill in his first game for Red Hill, and Mitch Gent of Bond Beach. That's a very good team. And, Tom, that indicates with all those Bond Beach players there that you've got a very strong side this year.
Yeah, no, it's very exciting. So hopefully we keep winning.
Well, we appreciate your time. Thanks so much for joining us. Good luck for the rest of the season. Enjoy the week off. We look forward to seeing how the team progresses from round 2 onwards. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you. Thanks for having me, boys.
On your Tom.
Thanks,
Good
mate.
on you, Tom Hogan, the ruckman for the Bomb Beach Footy Club. What do you think of that most valuable team for Telstra guys for round 1?
Oh, I'm not putting my name to it. That's rubbish. I reckon someone else has done that. So no, don't.
You know someone else has done that. I'm going to say that Reece has done it and done an outstanding
Oh,
job.
he's putting his
Not
name
giving
to it.
No, I reckon he's done a great job. I haven't sold him under any bus.
No.
I've actually
that's
pushed
No, it
him
is a
out
good
of the
job.
way.
It is a good job.
Well done, mate.
Thanks,
Yeah,
Dan.
good job.
And
Can't,
actually-
can't wait to play this week.
Hello, Reece. Good to have you with us. Reece, who's put our whole show together along with Tom Harvey, doing a wonderful job behind the scenes.
We've only got 6 teams that you got to pick out of. I was a bit disappointed that you didn't have any Edie players in there, mate. That was really
Stevie
disappointing.
Mannix is a bit
No,
stiff.
come on. What happened there?
Hayden Lobb was close.
Oh, here we go. No,
Tough old day for Edith Val Aspendale. If I can just say to Paul Martello and the crew, now I did try to ring a few people, as I said last week, and couldn't get any ins and outs. It's going to be pretty tough when they get beaten by 18 goals. But the positive on the weekend, boys, was that they won the stoppages, didn't they, Holtz? But they turned the footy over.
Stop reading me notes before the thing, mate. Like I tell you, I'll give you some information and you just steal it, mate. That's all right. No, look,
Expand on it.
Edith Vale were, when we were going through it today, Edith Vale smashed them in the clearances. It was 49 to 23. Now, if you have that, you are going to have a lot of forward entries. But what happened was that the inside 50s was 67 to 25 Bomb Beach. So you're winning the ball from the contest and you're under so much pressure that you're turning over the ball. So their turnovers was 59 to 26 for the midfield.
Yeah.
So they're getting their hands on the ball, which is fantastic. They're in and under. I think Stewart and Robertson were fantastic in that regard. So you get out in the track, you say, boys, this is what's happening. We're winning the ball. We need to find an avenue out of the contest so that we can make our disposal easier going forward. So it's not throw all the toys out of the
100%.
cot. We're doing some really good stuff, and there's things to work on. So if they can get that right during the week and over the next 3 or 4 weeks, then they'll be okay going forward.
You guys have been successful coaches. So if you are coaching a team that dominates Cappy at the centre clearances like that, but turns the footy over, as it seems Edias did, what would you be doing at training?
So those
Tuesday and
clearances would have
Thursday?
been all over the
Although,
ground.
yeah.
Yeah.
So maybe because the ball would have a lot would have been in Bomb Beach's forward line. So
Yeah.
they've won clearances in the back half, which is a real good thing. So they're getting their hands on the ball first. So that would be my driving thing for the week with EDS this week. Don't dwell on what happened. And unfortunately for them, they've got 2 weeks to live with what happened on the weekend rather than just have a game this week and wash it away. But I'd be really working on the fact that, rightio, we're getting our hands on the ball first more than that midfield that Bomb Beach have got. Let's really work on that. And they've got something to really work with. And, you know, I think it's more of an aberration what happened on a weekend with them rather than what's going to be the norm.
It can happen round 1 all the time.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
if I was Edith Vale, I wouldn't be down in the dumps. I'd be saying these are the positives that we had out of it. Just tinker on it through training. Get a way to get some possession outside where we don't be under so much pressure going forward, hit our targets, and we'll be right.
That's right.
This might be a team, Bomb Beach, that might beat a lot of teams quite comfortably. You look how deep their team is if they stay fit.
Yeah, we talked about it, but it's no different to what Rosebud did on the weekend or what YC have got or the Bombers and things like that. There's some really, really good sides out there. Bomb Beach have put their foot down first round and said, we're here, but that's not to say that the team's not going to do it next week. Rosebud certainly did it.
So with a team like Bomb Beach and Rosebud, you know, Rosebud did what, you know, all teams want to do. You just keep the pressure going all day, you know, and if you let the pressure stop, like Edie were with them at half time, but, you know, the gas really went on with Bomb Beach and maybe it went off a little bit with Edavale in the second half and then it just blew out. You can't take your foot off the gas against any of these teams because you're going to get really hurt.
You certainly are. I mean, it is just one game, long way to go. And, I mean, opinions are like backsides. We're entitled to have our opinion. I know Edie were disappointed with what we said, but I need to say, too, that Wayne Cap did say last week, whenever you play an EFL Aspendale side, they are hard to beat. They're a very proud club. They work very, very hard. And maybe round 1 was just an aberration, getting used to the new coach and having not played together for 18 months or so.
That's right. It's going to take some clubs longer to get back into it. You know, we've got to appreciate as spectators and whatever, you know, what roles you've got to appreciate the difficulty that is presented by not playing for such a long period of time. Not everyone's going to hit the ground running, and it might take some clubs a couple more weeks longer or a little bit longer than others.
Well, that was a one-sided game, but I tell you what wasn't a one-sided game was a game also played on Good Friday down on the peninsula between Dramana and Red Hill. Heartbreak for Dramana as Red Hill kick a behind to win on the siren. Let's have a look at the very end of the game, the last 20 seconds or so. We'll get to that in just a minute. But I can tell you that Torrent Foot, left foot snap, got a behind and the siren sounded. Here it is now, immediately after it. We'll get to it in just a second.
You're a professional, Dan.
In what was a very tight game. 20 points difference at three-quarter time and Dramana stormed home.
It's not up on there.
Right.
Right, there we go.
So it was a terrific performance by Red Hill for three quarters. Dramana found a way, 4-1 in the last quarter. And then Red Hill got the winning score with a behind. In the end, a terrific game of footy between two sides who we expect to be pretty competitive this year.
A win down at Dramana is really hard to get. I remember in 2019, they were just about unstoppable down there. And, they know how to play that ground. Dramana had their full complement in.
Yeah,
all their VFL boys were playing, Fowler, Gertz, all those guys. So it would have been a cracking match. And watching the highlights, it was obviously pretty hard. A lot of crashing and banging. Jonas Siverson was unbelievable. Yep. He played a great game.
150 ranking points according to Premier Guide.
Yeah, the stats are unbelievable. And
24 touches and a goal. Yeah.
And then it was interesting to see Jake Di Pasquale in his first game. He only rocked up there last week.
That's another YC guy, is it?
Oh,
is that what you're talking about, Jake, for, mate?
Yeah, I'd like to. Come on,
He's been at Sorrento in recent years.
Oh, yeah, no, but he's originally a YC boy, wasn't he, mate?
Anyway, he had 19 possessions and really contributed.
So you think he gelled nicely?
Yeah, he's a good player, that kid. Yeah. And that's a really good pickup. And, to get him late in is a really good win. Andy Mathers was amazing. He's hard at it in the crunches. So, both those teams are going to be thereabouts. We picked them to both be contending for finals, and there's no reason to change that.
Billy Gertz, Chris, dominated with 25 hit-outs for Dramana, 15 disposals for 172 ranking points. They may not have him all season because of Collingwood. They're going to miss him, aren't they, Dramana?
They are. He's just come on in leaps and bounds the last couple of years. He clearly dominated. Then when the ball hit the ground, he got 6 clearances as well. So he was just all over the place. So he was really good. The biggest thing that I probably took out of the game was the contrast in styles of the two. Red Hill used to playing up at big round at Red Hill. They were uncontested disposals. They were plus 48 on Dramana. And Dramana on the flip side was plus 17 on their contested possessions. So Dramana are really good in close and they get the ball out and the clearance work was great. But Red Hill, they like to get the ball on the outside, chip around, wait for the right mark and then hit up and go through. So that was probably the most contrasting thing that I saw. And you're right, with the VFL players that they had in, we don't think that they'll probably be there for consistently all year. Which is probably why we had Red Hill a little bit above where they were. Yeah. Red Hill to come into Div 1 and knock off the defending premiers was a fantastic effort.
It was a great effort. And like Billy Gertz's game, I know you've already spoken about it, but that is an incredible game of footy for, a guy who's, 25 hit-outs, 25 disposals, as you said.
Yep.
6 clearances. When he's missing, it's going to leave a bit of a gap for them, and that's their challenge now is to make sure that when those boys go and Fowler and those guys go and play the VFL, that it doesn't hurt them too much, and they've got to concentrate on make sure their depth's there to do it. I did also hear on a grapevine that Steve Morris didn't play last quarter for Red Hill, and that might have been a directive from Richmond that. How
do you feel about that? I know you had to deal with that a lot, and I still remember meeting you for the first time and having to tell players they weren't able to play because they needed to be kept out in case Richmond needed them. I think BJ Credlin was one of them, and I could see the exasperation on your face.
Yeah.
So you've lived it.
Yeah, it wasn't just
how
Richmond.
How do you cope with that?
Yeah,
I know it wasn't just Richmond, but I'm using Richmond as an example.
Well, as the coach, like Jamie would have weighed up, well, like, okay, I'm going to live with that. He's good enough for the 3 quarters. He's going to give us enough for 3 quarters that's going to get us over the line.
But Romana stormed home.
Well, whether that was because Steve Morris was off the ground or not, you wouldn't know. But it was just an interesting little thing that happened, and it's a difficult one to manage as a coach.
But I've spoken with you about it before. It's expected. Like there's certain things that you expect, and you buy in. You back a player. He might be available. He might not. You might have to. It's one of those things that you just have to cop, because if you could spend every Saturday night at home going, oh, I should have done this, or I wish I had done that, you guys drive yourself mad, mate.
Right. Yeah.
Well, this is the Division 1 GameFace footy show, looking at the first 3 matches in round 1. Frankston RSL, one of our major sponsors, thanks to HP and CP Australia, and also for Jeff Wignall Ford, with branches at Hastings, Frankston and Mornington, and also Telstra. To the big game on Easter Saturday, where the beer queue was out of the ground. It was massive. They would have sold a lot of beer, but unfortunately for Sorrento, they didn't get the 4 points. Rosebud dominating Sorrento, holding them to 1 goal for 3.5 quarters. They kicked a late consolation goal. Nick Batsanis, 30 touches on debut after moving from Doncaster East in the Eastern Football League. Outstanding. Jacob Steinhardt, one of their new recruits, one of Sorrento's few bright spots. I thought the pressure, the defensive efforts, Christian, you were there, of the Rosebud team on the weekend was exemplary.
Rosebud, hats off. You were absolutely fantastic. The pressure that they had on Sorrento from word go, all over the ground, not just the midfield, but all over the ground, was finals like. And to do it in that heat and consistently do it over the 4 quarters against what many people think is the best side on the peninsula, was just hats off stuff. They're big boys, Rosebud, so they're solid. They've been in the gym. They're big. And looking at them from the outside, I thought, their ground coverage, they might have some sides that are too quick. No, that's rubbish. They are fit. That midfield with Downey, the 2 Husthwaite boys, Batsanis is going to be a really, really good player in this comp.
Yeah.
But they were all over the ground. One that impressed me too, Steve and Matt Cumming in the ruck.
Yeah.
They look the same person. They may as well just have a little thing in the interchange bench and just pull one out and just pull one off.
I was watching it. And it was the same
bloke.
red-headed blokes going up and going, this bloke's killing them. Never realised there was 2 of them.
Well, they both had 24
the
touches
difference
between
was,
them.
thank God, Stephen's hair's a bit longer and he had it in a ponytail, and Matt's got the shorter hair with the headband.
They had 40 hit-outs between them, those 2 boys.
wonderful.
They played a great game, and, it really helped, guys like Batsanis and Downey and all those guys get their hands on the ball. But I couldn't agree more. The strength of Rosebud really stood out, and it's a message now to the other teams. Watch out when you've got that footy against Rosebud. You're going to get tackled, and you're going to be under pressure. And they're going to bring with them now perceived pressure as well, which other teams will be thinking about every time that they're playing Rosebud.
They won't have much of Campbell Husthwaite, Chris, but they've still got enough defenders, I think.
I actually don't think you'd love to have him, but I don't think that's going to be a big hole for him to fill. I loved their backline was fantastic all day to keep Sorrento to 1 goal up to halfway through the last quarter, but they were doing it on the bit. McRae was fantastic down back, and then you look at the forward line. They had the 2 big Baker boys there.
Just made a contest.
Baker, Tommy Deep, he didn't take too many marks, but he just brought every contest to ground, and that just brought all the other players into it. So if they can keep that. And their biggest challenge for the next 20 weeks or whatever it be is just going to be consistency of effort through that. And hats off to Julie. He's done a fantastic job with them, but now he's just got to have that consistent every single week. And if they can do that, they are going to be right there.
Luke Loudon retiring on the eve of the season. They need to find a ruck when Nick Corp was playing in the ruck, but they were robbing Peter to pay Paul. Not having Lee Paholke there, Cabby didn't help, and also Luke Tapscott. Listen to the injuries. Miles Paholke tweaked a calf on the weekend. He's got 2 weeks to get over it. Hopefully he'll be okay. And he found the going a bit tough, and he's returned to the MPNFL after his AFL career. Angus Callahan completed the game with a broken leg, so that's a mighty effort.
Yeah.
Marcus Gardner, soft tissue. Shannon Gladman, soft tissue injury. Will Johnson tore a calf early days. He was gone by quarter time. Nat DeConza, a hamstring. James Brigden, a hamstring. And I've battled manfully at full forward in a role that doesn't suit him, but I thought he still tried very hard. Zach Burns, a hamstring as well. But, gee, it was tough.
You can't underestimate what the injuries that they had during that game did to them. Like a hot day, a red-hot opponent, that affected the result. I wouldn't say it's not going to make Rosebud lose the game, but that it would have been closer if they had 20 fit blokes and they were able to fight it out. But the injuries did affect them. Rosebud didn't get them. They're ready to go, And look, Sereno will be better. Don't worry about that.
But have they got the depth? Because their reserves were well beaten too, Cappy. Well beaten.
It hasn't affected them in the past, mate.
Look,
What do you think, Chris?
Under no circumstances would you put a line through Sereno.
No.
Do that at your own peril. They're going to find it hard over the next 3 or 4 weeks with their injuries, but they're still one of the best teams in the comp by an absolute mile. So you can say everything you want about round one. They've just got some work to do. They'll still be right there.
2 games to complete the round. YCW and Pines under lights at Skybus Stadium. And make sure you get down and have a look. It should be absolutely fantastic. I was there on Monday. I did a promo on Monday. I've hurt my back. Thank you to Matt Bugger-Bodie. He took a specky on me, and then he also tackled me. I'm as weak as water, as everyone knows, at the age of 52, even though I try and run, but run slowly. The ground, boys, we haven't had a lot of rain, is in magnificent condition. It should be a wonderful night because I think conditions are going to be okay on Friday.
Yeah, what a night. I can't wait. I just urge everyone to get online and get a ticket to go and watch. I did it today, and if I can do it, it's easy. So, everyone get on board.
How do you feel about that? I mean, at the end of the day, we have to do it instead of just rolling up and
live with it.
Giving you hard-earned cash. I mean, you just get used to it, don't you?
Yeah, you just got to do it. And, look, it's going to be a great night. It's the first night game down there for the MPNFL. We've been talking about it for years, about having a night game. We've been looking forward to it. We've got 2 great clubs playing. It's going to be a fantastic night. I can't wait. Another thing I just want to mention, Kyle Hutchison plays his 200th senior game on Friday night.
Good on you, Hutchison.
He's been a cracker.
So I what a champion he's been of not only YCW but the whole footy league. He's 7 premierships, league best and fairest. God knows how many club awards.
Ripper.
So I can't understand he didn't get in the top 35 this year. But
Yeah, I know.
Anyway, that's not my...
You can't have all the YCW boys, Cappy.
No, I didn't. I'm just saying.
I know.
He's read up.
Fair enough.
Could have been number 35, I thought. But,
You think YCW will win, Cappy, don't you?
Oh, don't even ask him. Don't even ask him.
What do you think, Holks?
I think YC will win.
Comfortably?
Yeah, comfortably. Oh, look, the Pines have gone back and they've lost a lot of experience and they've got a lot of young players, which will come on, and they've got some really good young players. But I think whereas YC's at the moment, I think that they will win comfortably.
Frankston Bombers and Mount Elias, a standalone game on Saturday. I don't think the weather will be as good as it was last week, but it'll still be okay. They should get a good crowd at Creek Beck.
Yeah, I can't wait to see both these teams run out. Particularly Bombers, we've talked about for ages how good their list is, and now they've got to do what Bomb Beach did. They've got to perform now. The pressure's on the Bombers. They've been talking themselves up. We've been talking them up. I'll just shout out to a couple of my mates here who've been talking about it. But yeah, so I'm really looking forward. I think it'll be a good game, and Louis Pearce running out for the Redlegs would be good. So that'll be a cracker.
Yeah, it will. And
Bombers win?
Yeah, Bombers will win. Band Lies are just a little bit unknown. They're always going to be strong, and they'll find it here and there. But I think just what we're hearing is that Bombers will be too strong from on the day.
You've got a very strong list. I know they've trained a lot together, but they haven't played a lot of matches together, Cappy.
No, that's right.
Could it take them a few weeks to gel?
Yeah, it's going to be hard. Like, different teams will handle things differently. So, I assume that they'd be ready to go. They've had a few practice matches. They've had a two-year pre-season. So they should be right.
Steve Brattle's coached a lot of juniors, hasn't coached a lot of seniors. How will he go in that step-up role, Chris, do you think?
Don't know. It's like I honestly don't know. I could talk rubbish and say
he knows a lot of the players.
He's going to kill him or he's going to go order, but I have no idea how it's going to go.
Mount Eliza wouldn't have appointed him if they didn't think he could do the job. No, so obviously, they have confidence in what he can do, and he as we spoke about last week, he knows those players really well. He's been at the club for a long time. So,
we wish him luck.
Yeah, all the best, Steve. On your
you
first
need
game.
it when you see the coach. That's for sure.
Yeah, that's it.
Well, we thank our sponsors, Frankston RSL, HP and CP Australia, also Jeff Wignall Ford with branches at Hastings, Frankston and Mornington, and also Telstra. Should be an outstanding end to round one. Thank you, Cappy. Thank you, Holtz. And we've got the Division 2 show coming up very shortly. Get your GameFace on.